All right, boys, let's get into the content, man. We are going to get... Now, you guys wanted me to react to this. I made a video on this. I only managed to get through 6 minutes because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a 30-minute video from Fighting Cowboy, essentially responding to his crash out. Now, I made a video about this. Like I said, I got through 6 minutes. It was rough. It was rough. There was a lot of nonsense in here. And I want to make it very clear. Again, I've never heard of this guy, which honestly shocked the shit out of me personally, because I know a lot of gaming content creators, but I sincerely have never heard of this guy up until the crash out. And then when I came to realize, oh, he's got 1.4, 1.5 million subscribers. That's amazing. How have I never heard of him? I was shocked. Anyway, so for me, I don't know the guy enough for me to make a judgment call on him personally. So that's not what this is going to be about. This is going to be me essentially seeing what he has to say and kind of reacting and commenting on what he has to say about the situation and also Assassin's Creed Shadows as a whole. That's really what I'm focusing on right now. But if you guys don't know who this is Fighting Cowboy. This is his video of a live stream that he essentially responded to him crashing out on stream, or at least that's what he's calling it anyway. That's essentially what it is. All right, so for those of you watching this clip on Hypnotic Live, just realize it's going to be a very long clip. So grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, and make sure you guys are, stocked up for this one, because it's going to be interesting. And again, I have no hate for the guy. I want to make it very clear, but I fundamentally disagree with a lot of what he says. And that's basically what I'm going to focus on in this video. Here we go.
What is happening, y'all? So we're going to have a bit of a different stream today. Just got some lunch, but things have been pretty spicy since the Assassin's Creed stream. And your typical, well, first and foremost, let me say there's been a huge amount of support and people in agreement, and really appreciate that. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who is tired of all this bullshit. But then, your typical grifters went and picked the story up. Now there's all sorts of dumb made up bullshit floating around. So I figured, let's do a stream. Let's discuss. Let's make it hell, we can make it an open invitation for anyone that actually wants to try and stand on business instead of making up little bullshit to help get their viewers angry.
See, the thing is, maybe last year I would have been down to do that, but I've come to realize that talking with these people are genuinely a waste of time. Or I can dedicate my time talking about the industry, reviewing video games on my other channel and whatnot. But the crazy thing is I would be interested in talking with him. But to be honest with you, I know it's kind of pointless. Like, I know it's kind of stupid, only because of the way that he's talking. I think that he thinks that he is just perhaps this big guy. You know what I mean? I feel like he thinks he's this big guy, both on YouTube and in real life. So he feels like nobody's going to stand up to him. Because when people say stand up on business, I think they mean in real life, and like they're talking down to you and whatnot. It's like, bro, first off, I would talk to you, but you pre-blocked me without me even knowing who you were. So if we're talking about standing on business, I think that's pretty hilarious. Like you can't talk about standing on business and then pre-blocking the person that you're talking about standing on business with. That's a little bit odd. And number two, humble yourself a little bit. Like, relax a little bit. It's not that serious, bro.
But regardless, let's talk about what happened. Now, for those that were not here the other day, we were playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. And at the part of the stream we were at, YASUKE was on screen. Now, for those that don't know, YASUKE is a historical figure in Japanese history. He was brought over by the Portuguese and then taken by Nobunaga. Now, there's obviously a lot of iffy records about what happened back then. Some people say,
I love the fact that every single one of these people who defend Shadows is able to recite Wikipedia. Because that's exactly what's happening, right? He's just literally reciting Wikipedia, which was edited by Thomas Lackley, who wrote the entire book that all these freaking leftists or whoever utilize as their means of evidence that is actual all fiction. But hey, at least you can recite Wikipedia. That's good.
Say he was a retainer. Some people say he was raised up to a samurai. regardless,
Nobody says he was raised up to a samurai, by the way. Nobody. There is no historical record stating that he was raised up to a samurai. Literally zero. Zero. Not a single historical record of any of that. There is nobody that says that he was raised up to be a samurai. Zero. Zilch. Nada. All of that came from Thomas Lockley. All of that came from a Western white guy. It came from a white guy. The retainer thing is all they have as historical record. That is it. They know he was brought over by the Portuguese. They know that Nobunaga had an obsession with his black skin, and they know that Nobunaga kept him as his retainer for the 15 months that he was in Japan until Nobunaga eventually got defeated and Yasuke surrendered. And then he was shipped out like damaged goods, never to be seen in Japan again. That's all we know. That's literally all we know.
I'm not here to talk about that. Okay. That's beyond the point.
You sure about that? Because if it's beyond the point, you wouldn't have brought it up to be the point.
Assassin's Creed has always been historical fiction. Okay. We never actually punched a pope. We never actually.
So yes, Assassin's Creed has been historical fiction. Obviously, we know that, right? But Assassin's Creed has also made it a point to try to be historically accurate in other ways, aside from its fantastical storytelling that is set within real world events and real world people. We know that, right? A lot of the protagonists that have been featured in Assassin's Creed, for the most part, almost all of them have been native to the land of which the game takes place. So it tries to at least be accurate in that regard. So they were able to be accurate racially when it comes to fake characters, but the moment they wanted to include somebody who was actually real life there in Japan, suddenly they can't do it. Suddenly it's like, nope, we got to figure out, how we can interject a black guy in here because it's 2020 when we're making this game and everybody's sad about George Floyd right now. How can we do this?
Had flying machines. That shouldn't be an issue. But so we have people in stream. There were two comments in particular that popped up. We had, I guess this is the new 2K, and then better make sure the black guy doesn't pull out the Glock.
That shit gets me every time. I've heard this already and I still laugh. It's like, bro, imagine stopping your entire stream for those two comments. That's what doesn't get me. You stopped your entire stream for two funny ass comments, bro. And if it was really a problem, you could have just ignored those comments and had your mods ban those people, which you apparently did. So you had them timed out, but then you still melted down about it afterwards anyway. Bro, you should have just let them time out and move on and kept playing your game. Who gives a fuck, bro? It's the internet. People are gonna make funny comments like that. And sometimes people are gonna say things that you may not find funny. So if you really don't want to see it, that's what you have mods for. Or you could just ban yourself. Take your mouse, go to the YouTube chat, click on the triple dots, and mute the user if you really have a problem with it.
Both those people got timed out. And then we had other comments that I'm not going to repeat. There's some comments that I have pinned on Blue Sky that were just outright racism, like just slurs. And those, thankfully, those get held. Those don't even make it into chat because we got filters.
Yeah, but people like you are perfectly fine with somebody like Dave Chappelle telling the exact same joke, right? So if Dave Chappelle were to say the exact same thing that people were saying in chat, which you don't even know the racial makeup of the people who were saying that, by the way. It could have been black people for you know. It could have been black people making the jokes for you know. How do you know that it wasn't a black person making those jokes in chat? How do you know? You think only white people dropped the N-bomb? How do you know? You're assuming racism because in your world, everything has to be racist, it seems. That's how it seems. Otherwise, how do you know what the race of the person was in the chat? You don't know. You have no idea. But you would be perfectly fine if somebody like Dave Chappelle or Cat Williams, you would be perfectly fine if somebody like that were to make a joke about Yasuke. They'd be like, who the fuck is this N-word in Japan? If they said some shit like that, you'd be like, ha, 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 ha. Get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. This is so stupid. And you use Blue Sky on top of that. Blue Sky, I didn't even catch that in my video. I wasn't even paying attention to the Blue Sky thing. You use Blue Sky. Blue Sky tells me everything I need to know. in terms of where certain ideologies fall.
Or like, no, nobody could be making slurs about Assassin's Creed. Like, bro, go on Twitter, look up Assassin's Creed Shadows, and type the slur of your choice into that search bar, and you will see what I'm talking about. So,
bro, who cares? But see, this is my thing. Like, who cares, man? This is the internet. We are on the internet, bro. Why are you getting angry at other people being racist to someone that's not even real? He's not even real. It's not even about you. Like, you're being angry over what somebody else is saying about something that's not even real. I mean, color me shocked. Oh my God, if you go looking for something, you might find it. Wow. So if you go looking for racism, you mean to tell me you're going to find racism? Hold on. Where's my special victims? No way. No way. Did you guys know that in the chat? If you go searching for racism, you're going to find racism? Insane, bro. I never knew that.
In that moment, we were playing the game, and we weren't even playing yet. We were basically in like the opening cutscene, and we had people that were upset specifically about the existence of a black guy in a Japanese setting.
They have every right
nothing to do with Ubisoft's microtransactions,
which
had
sucks.
nothing to do with optimization,
which sucks.
Had nothing to do with the setting. It was simply
which doesn't suck.
Black dude in a Japanese game.
Optimization sucks. Microtransactions suck. This setting doesn't suck. Black guy in Japan as one of the main characters, stupid. Simple as that.
And we called that out. We said, get the fuck out. If you don't like it here, fucking leave. Everyone is tired of listening to this shit. Get the fuck out.
Clearly
and
not.
Of course, your typical grifters, they like to make up bullshit. You know, oh, woke leftist cowboy is, I don't know, shill.
Clearly not. Clearly people are not tired of listening to it. I have more concurrent viewers watching this stream right now than you did playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, complaining to your fan base about why people are being racist. And I don't have 1.5 million subscribers. So I think it's safe to say that clearly people are not tired of hearing about it. It's clear that people do want to talk about it. I don't get it.
Feeling for Ubisoft and blah, 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 because none of them actually have a point to stand on.
How do you know that?
Little, you know, weak-willed men that like to hide behind avatars or made-up names, and they don't actually stand on business. They don't. They probably don't stand at all. I can't imagine most of these people are active. They probably don't go to the gym. They probably don't work out. They probably just sit inside
Can you flex again?
all day and hide.
Can you flex again? Can you flex again? Hold on, go back.
I don't know, shilling for Ubisoft and blah, 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 because none of them actually have a point to stand on. They're all little, you know, weak-willed men that like to hide behind avatars or made-up names, and they don't actually stand on business. They don't. They probably don't stand at all. I can't imagine most of these people are active. They probably don't go to the gym.
Bro. Oh my God, bro. Humble yourself, man. Seriously. Humble yourself. You know what's insane? So I notice, speaking of not standing, my new chair is very comfortable, by the way. It better be. It was $300 fucking dollars. I notice that a lot of people that are in this particular sphere, they like to make a lot of assumptions, right? They like to make a lot of assumptions, right? Some of these assumptions are, oh, if somebody disagrees with me ideologically, that means they must be white or racist, right? Or if somebody disagrees with me ideologically, then I'm just going to bring up my physicality in some way, shape, or form. You know, I had this conversation very similar with like Mike Hollow, by the way. And Mike Hollow was a lot more respectful during that conversation. So I was respectful to him as well. You know, we had a disagreement about it. But my thing is, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Mike Hollow. You threatening physicality or you bringing up anything about your physique, which, by the way, is severely lacking. Okay? It's severely lacking. I'm not perfect, but I'm not sitting up here threatening people because we have a difference in ideology physically. So it is what it is. But my guy, like you said, you've been in the gym for 2 years and you have barely any definition. You probably should either stop eating or hit the weights harder, but that's besides the point. I don't care. We're not talking about that. You do you, boo. But my thing is, like I told Mike Hollow, you threatening physicality in any sense of the word makes you look so unbelievably weak when it's a battle of words, right? When it's a battle, when you're having a conversation. Well, I mean, we're not having a conversation, but when you're basically talking about other people, conversing about your ideas and what you said, when people are bringing up what you said and you're returning it with, do you even lift, bro? Do you lift, bro? That seriously, like, in my opinion, that makes your entire arguments look really weak. That makes your entire arguments look extremely weak. Because people are bringing up what you're saying and you're talking about your muscles or other people's muscles. What does that have to do with anything? You know what this screams to me? Seriously? This screams to me somebody who used to be fat, who found the gym, decided to start working out, and after a couple of years of losing weight and gaining a little bit of muscle, he has completely forgotten what it's like to be that way. And now he's an extremely insecure person that is projecting on everybody else and trying to essentially say, you don't lift, bro. Do you lift? Come on, bro. Again, I don't care about this. This is so fucking stupid. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because you brought it up. I would never have brought this up, but it is what it is. You brought it up, so we're talking about it. I would suggest that you humble yourself, at least somewhat. I would suggest you humble yourself, because what somebody looks like physically or what they're capable of doing, how much weight they pick up and how much weight they put down, does not change their argument in any manner of the word. It doesn't make your argument any better, and it doesn't make their argument any worse, because you're not talking about gym routines. You're not talking about working out. You're not talking about weight loss regimens. You're not talking about that. You're talking about fucking video games, bro. The person could be fat or the person could be anorexic. It doesn't matter. If they have a point, they have a point. And if you think they don't have a point, then combat them with your words and stop throwing around your muscles as if you're the biggest guy in the world, because, my guy, humble yourself. If you really think that you're the only big guy in the world, humble yourself. You're not the only person who could pick up weight and put it down. Just remember that. You're not the only one.
They probably don't work out. They probably just sit inside all day and hide. But that's beyond the point, okay? Let's give the grifters a break for a second.
Grifters. Oh my God, dude. I really wish that they can, like, get another word. Like, figure out another word, man. You don't know how to use that word. You don't know how to use that word. Like, why are you calling people grifters? Are you calling people grifters because they have a different ideology? Do you guys see why it took me so long to get through the video when I was recording? I tried, but I have so many questions. Like, you guys don't know how to use the word grifter at all. You are clearly mentioning me. You're probably mentioning my video because you brought up avatars, whatever. And you know what's funny? People try to say, oh, why are you hiding behind the avatar? Bro, I've explained this so many times. When I started YouTube, my entire idea was to do YouTube in a very different way. I wasn't a VTuber when I started. I wanted to do YouTube in a very different way. I wanted to be weird. I wanted to be different. I wanted to stand out. I didn't just want to be another face in the commentary scene. So I try to come up with different ways to be entertaining, engaging, which is something you should probably work on. But I tried to figure out a way to try to be engaging and entertaining. And eventually I found myself and what I wanted to do over time and how I wanted to do it. But at the end of the day, bro, none of that changes the conversation, the argument, or anything that is happening for the last 3 years that I've been on YouTube. None of that. It's always been the same. The conversation has been the same. It's got nothing to do with looks. It's got nothing to do with insecurity. It's got nothing to do with any of that. All it is I wanted to be different. I wanted to be weird. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know about the VTube world. That's the sad part. When I started YouTube, I didn't know about the VTuber world. I didn't even know that somebody like Doomcock fucking existed. I thought I was doing something super different. That's what I thought. I really thought I was doing something different. And then I realized, holy shit, you got Doomcock. You got fucking Dr. Disaster. You got all these people. I was like, whoa. Where'd all these weirdos show up from? I had no idea. So I was like, oh, well, I guess it's not original. Oh, well, fuck it. I got to keep going anyway. It's crazy. I only started doing VTubing recently. When I started YouTube, it was live action. Then it eventually became a like a PNG picture, like, you know, whatever. And then it evolved into a VTuber just because I wanted it to be animated. That's basically it.
So what actually happened is we had people that were upset about a black guy on the screen, and they were called out. They were called out live, and that needs to happen more.
Okay.
Why did I get so fucking angry? Let's talk about it. Because, bro,
he really is angry, by the way.
It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. I mean, like, for real, let's talk about the last year in gaming.
He actually genuinely is angry, by the way, which is it's kind of wild. Like, so when I made the video, I didn't think he was actually very angry. I think he was having a moment, but like, he's actually genuinely angry. You can kind of tell in his face and in his eyes, he's very angry, which I don't understand. Why give people the level of power over you that makes you this mad? I hope you're not juicing, bro. I really do. I hope you're not juicing, because to get angry over a couple of racist comments online, bro, either you are fully into your ideology and it has taken a hold of you, or perhaps you have other reasons as to why you're so angry.
Fucking Stellar Blade drama, because there was a titty window added. Oh, they're censoring. They're taking away the gooning.
Fucking liar. Absolute lying. You know what? Let me rephrase. He's not lying. He's lying by omission. He's doing the Alyssa Mercante thing. He's being disingenuous. So it's just a bunch of gooners who were angry that Stellar Blade got censored. Oh, so we're going to completely leave out the context that it was the journalist that started all the controversy with Stellar Blade? Are we going to leave that context out of it? Are we going to leave the context that Stellar Blade was getting ransacked by the journalists because it was deemed sexist, problematic, misogynistic? We're going to just leave that out of it? Are we going to leave out the fact that it was the journalist that caused the hard R controversy that got the game censored in the first place? Are we going to leave out the context that Shift Up was the one that announced that the game was going to be released uncensored worldwide everywhere, only for us to find out that they got it censored in the first place? Are we just going to leave all that out and just say that, oh, it was gooners being mad that they saw less titties? What, bro? Come on.
Elden Ring drama, because, oh, they hid it behind a boss. They hid it behind a fucking boss, and it's too expensive. Fucking, let me actually, I could probably come up with drama for every fucking game we had. I bet. Let me pull up a playlist.
Every game? Okay, let's see the list. Go ahead. Every game. You play a lot of games, so that's going to be a long list. It better be a long list. Go ahead.
Stalker 2, people were upset just because the fact that it was a Ukrainian studio, so that got a bunch of shit.
People were bringing up the Ukrainian nature of Stalker 2 because the Stalker 2 developers tried to use their Ukrainian background as the reason why the game was so fucked up at launch. Which, by the way, I still haven't completed Stalker 2 because the game bugged out in its story progression, and I literally wasn't able to continue. They brought up the fact that they were Ukrainian and they were in a war as to the reason why the game was all fucked up and they weren't able to deliver the way they wanted. They brought it up. And then the defenders for that game brought it up. So people have a right to say, no, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about the Ukrainian shit? You are making a product. You need to deliver a good product, regardless of where you're located. It's not our problem. If you're in a war and you're having an issue delivering on a product, perhaps you should focus on the war and less on the product. I'm just saying. But again, people have their own ideas about that.
Dragon Age, people were upset that there was a character who went by they them in the game, so that got a bunch of shit.
Okay, so it's about they them and not about the fucking trans scars, about the forced ideology, about even if you decide to skip the trans storyline in the game an hour in, you still get inundated with it regardless. The fact that none of it is optional, really, at the end of the day, you could be playing the game and you're gonna have to fucking worry about not misgendering a character. You're gonna have to do a bar, do 10 push-ups every time you misgender someone, where you go to a blacksmith in one of the cities and they're like, hey, I'm non-binary. Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? So even if you wanted to avoid it, you can't even avoid it. That was the biggest difference between that game and KCD2 for me, was that Dragon Age of Veilguard, you can't avoid anything. Literally. It's going to be told to you no matter what. But sure, it's just about they, them. Yeah, sure.
We had fucking...
Come on, you said all the games. Come on, you said all the
Avowed,
games.
which came out. People were upset about Avowed because the existence of pronouns was offensive.
Yeah, the existence of pronouns was offensive. Are you going to bring up the fact that Matt Hansen went on a fucking tirade against Elon Musk and gamers in general, which caused people to find out about the pronoun stuff, get mad about it, and that started that whole backlash? Are you going to talk about the fact that it's because of Matt Hansen was the 95% reason why people were mad about Avowed in the first place? Oh, on top of the other developers saying some shit as well? Are we gonna talk about that too, or are we just gonna let that be? Oh, it's just pronouns. I got it. Makes sense, I guess.
We had people that were upset about KCD because there was a single gay relationship you could have in the game. And now people are upset about...
Yeah, which, by the way, I defended that game. And you're calling me a grifter. It's like fucking
Shadows,
crazy.
because there's gay stuff and a black guy. And honestly...
People are mad at Shadows because of the gay stuff, right? Which it is what it is. It's an optional romance. But see, here's the difference, though. There's a non-binary character in the game. There was literally no such thing, right? If you want to argue that people were butt fucking each other, whatever, but how are you going to argue that there is a non-binary person in the game? How are you going to argue that? There is a non-binary person using they, them pronouns in the game. How are you going to argue that? Right? People have their own thoughts about Yasuke, sure, but you're trying to make it seem like everybody's issue about Assassin's Creed Shadows is black and gay, when people are literally sharing clips online right now about the glitches, the monetization, which has always been terrible, by the way. The microtransactions has always been terrible. The glitches, the AI, the voice acting. People are sharing clips about a bunch of things other than just black and gay, but you're focusing on black and gay. Why?
And this is the fun thing. Right? If y'all have friends that don't watch streams, if y'all have friends that just play video games, they don't fuck with social media, ask them about this shit. Like, yo, did you hear about the Stellar Blade drama?
I did.
Did you hear about the Assassin's Creed drama? And most of them are going to be like, what are you talking about?
So I have a couple of normie friends that I hang out with and I play video games with, mainly Final Fantasy 14. And I've talked to some of them. And the majority of them actually ask me questions because they notice things that are happening. They notice things. I think it's insulting to assume that people don't notice things just because they're not online. I had a guy who is never part of this shit ever. And I told this story before, where he came to me, like we were playing Final Fantasy 14. He came to me, he said, bro, what the fuck is going on with this game? Why the fuck is there a black guy in samurai armor? Word for word, bro. Word for word. He's like, why is there a black guy in samurai armor? Do you know what's happening with this? And then I explained to him what's happening. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. I noticed that. What the fuck is Ubisoft doing? Bro, people notice things. People notice things. And I think it's ridiculous that you're trying to pretend as if people do not notice things if they're not online, because they do. There's a reason why YouTube channels like myself and others are growing every single day, more and more and more as time goes on, because people start asking questions. And what ends up happening when people ask questions is that they start searching online for answers to those questions. They'll start thinking, oh, gee, they'll look up Black Samurai in Japan or whatever the case may be, and they'll go down rabbit holes. And those rabbit holes will start leading people to YouTube channels like mine and others and whatnot that are talking about this stuff openly while you're trying to suppress conversation. Or at least that's how it seems anyway. It seems like you're trying to suppress conversation. I mean, you could do what you want to do with your platform, but that's how it seems anyway.
Is the game, is it bad? And you're like, no, there's a black samurai and you can bang Nobunaga's sister. They're gonna look like Walter White and that Breaking Bad meme where they're like, Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, they're not. Because my friend asked me about the game and I told him exactly what was wrong with the game, what was actually wrong with the game. There's opinions about the game, and then there's what's actually wrong about the game or what's good about the game. The Yasuke stuff, the Oda Nobunaga stuff, all that stuff is in opinion, which I did tell him. But I also told him, bro, the game is broken as fuck. It's glitchy as hell. Shoddy AI, terrible voice acting. The dialogue's going to put you to sleep. The graphics are amazing. The animations look good, except for the facial animations. The facial animations are fucking garbage. Pros and cons, my guy. Pros and cons. If you are truly reviewing a video game, you should be able to give full pros and cons. But the truthful thing is that you are probably used to getting games for free, right? You get your keys or whatever. And with those keys usually come stipulations, right? Stipulations where you can't talk about certain controversial things, where you can only just either play the game and let it be, or, you know, only mention certain positive things. So that has now become the norm for you mentally, to the point where now you look at anything negative as grifting. That's crazy. I think that's crazy. I really do. I think it's crazy to look at a difference of opinion, especially somebody who doesn't like the game that they paid for or they're playing and reviewing, and calling it grifting because you don't agree with it. And then you get mad when people call you a shill. It's like, what?
Normal people don't get upset about this shit.
Yes, they do.
Okay? This is this.
You know what's funny? Really quick. I'm sorry I keep pausing. This is why I didn't get through the video. I'm so sorry. Normal people do talk about this. The thing is that normal people, they tend to keep it to themselves. They tend to keep it to themselves. You want to know how that's true? Look at what happened in the election. I'll use the election as a perfect example. Okay? Going up into the election, Kamala Harris was winning in almost every single poll. That means people were saying, yeah, I'm totally voting for Kamala, right? People were going up into the election telling their friends that they're going to vote for Kamala. People were going up to the election saying, yeah, no, fuck Trump. And then what ended up happening is because people kept it to themselves. And then come to find out, people voted for Trump. In a decent majority too, on top of that. And then now you have all these people who are thinking, oh, Kamala. They're looking at their friends thinking, wait a second, who fucked me over? Who voted for Trump? Bro, I was seeing TikToks everywhere from people making jokes at the fact that they were looking at their coworkers, telling them they were voting for Kamala, but secretly voting for Trump. This is how it goes all the time. People tend to keep it to themselves, or they only tell people that they trust. But whatever the case may be, most regular people who are not online, they're just having these conversations amongst themselves. They're keeping it to themselves with whoever they can trust, and that's basically it. But trust me, man, they're thinking of it. They're thinking of it. It's in their mind. They may not tell you, but it's there. Same thing here.
This is a manufactured issue in the online space.
It's not.
By grifters. Now, I'm going to listen.
If it was a manufactured issue, then Assassin's Creed Shadows would be cooking right now. If it was a manufactured issue, Assassin's Creed would be selling like hotcakes right now. It's not. No matter how much you want to say it's a manufactured issue by grifters, right now you are lying to your fan base. And by the way, you're getting paid for it. So guess what that makes you?
In this, I'm trying to present an olive branch, because there's a lot of people that are coming into the comments leaving dumb shit. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think you're all mentally ill.
Here we go.
I think a lot of y'all have been lied to.
Make fun of the fans.
I think a lot of people that are getting riled up by these grifters, I think you're just looking for someone to reach out to, and you don't know that you're having smoke blown up your ass by people that profit off your outrage. And so I'm doing this video to try and fucking give y'all a hand.
Hey, you guys angry right now? I want you to be mad. I want you all to be angry. Oh, come on, man. It always comes down to money. It's always about money. Always. Always. And I say this all the time. It's always about money. They cannot go in this conversation all the way to the end without bringing up money, because they think that the sole reason why there is people out there that disagree with them ideology is because of money, which is crazy. It's insane to me. So the only way people can disagree with you is if they're a grifter and it's about money. Are you serious right now? Says the guy that was live streaming this. Bro, he's live streaming this. He was anyway. He live streamed this. He got super chats during this. He got super thanks on the video. You got money for this. So your ideology is okay to support financially, but other people's ideologies are not okay to support financially. Otherwise, they're a grifter if they get financial support for saying what they say, but you saying what you say, you're not a grifter because you're totally being honest. Come on, bro. Stop this fucking nonsense. I don't know what's weaker. You pocket watching someone else or you trying to bring up your muscles in a conversation about video games. I don't know which one is more ridiculous.
I'm trying to reach out and be like, listen, come back to fucking reality, bro. Come back to reality.
Yeah, guys, come back to reality. The side that believes that trans kids are a thing. Come back to reality. The side that believes that trans women are real women. Please come back to the reality that loves pronouns and utilizes them every single day as titles, which is a brand new thing that the modern age has started to do. Please come back to the reality. You want to be in the reality, right? Where trans women are women, and if you suck a dick, you're not gay? Come on. Come back to reality, boys.
And the reality is, people are fed up with the bitching. And they're going to say, Cowboy, they made the games woke. No, they didn't. We had this shit all the way back in the day. You had gay relationships in Mass Effect. You could choose your gender in RPGs as long as games have been around, bro.
Well, you could choose male and female. You could choose male and female. You got to be very specific. The gay relationships have been around in RPGs for a long time. Yes, I told people that. I always say that. But when it comes to genders, you could choose male and female. The non-binary shit, you can't choose because it never existed. That is a modern day thing. That is a modern day ideology. Right? Can we at least understand that?
Like, this isn't new. It's not some secret fucking agenda that people are pushing out there.
I got a question for Fighting Cowboy. I wonder if he has seen the GDC conference screenshots where in the GDC, which is the game developers conference, mind you, it's where all the game developers get together and jerk each other off. Have you seen the still shots from the panels that they have talking about Marxism and gaming? Have you seen that stuff? Have you seen the screenshots of panels with on the screen where they got PowerPoint presentations of how to inject Marxism in gaming and how Marxism is good in gaming? Have you seen that? Have you seen the screenshots of them talking about activism and social change in gaming and how you can utilize video games to push that stuff? But there's no agenda, though. It only happened in the biggest game conference for developers in the world, but there's no agenda. There's no agenda whatsoever. I guess you haven't seen that.
What's really happening is, as a society, we're making progress. And we're seeing more inclusivity. Yeah. We're seeing more diversity. Yep. I'm a big straight white dude.
So we're seeing more inclusivity, more diversity. We are seeing more. Let me rephrase. We're seeing more superficial inclusivity. We're seeing more superficial diversity. We're not seeing any real diversity whatsoever. The diversity that we see that's organic has already been there for ages. We're progressing, really? We're progressing as games get worse. We're progressing, really? As the country gets more and more insane, we're progressing. We're to the point now where you got men physically beating up women, and it's okay so long as they wear a dress. We're progressing. We're progressing. Really? Okay. All right.
Looking at this chat, I would guess
he has white
probably
guilt.
a fraction of the people in this chat are big straight white dudes. All right.
That's a bad assumption to make. That is a bad assumption to make. Why would you assume that a decent amount of your chat is just big straight white dudes? Again, all of this is based off assumptions, bro. You probably think I'm white. I guarantee you think I'm white. Just like every other retard thinks I'm white whenever they see somebody disagree with them. But it's funny, the moment you guys find out that I'm a brownie, all of a sudden you don't want to have the conversation anymore. All of a sudden, I'm just misled. I'm misguided. Thank God I'm not black. Otherwise, I'd be called a fucking coon and shit, or an Uncle Tom. It's funny, like the brown people, we don't really get names thrown at us. They just say that we're misled. You know? But if I was a black guy, oh, forget about it. Forget about it. It'll be coon. All that shit.
See some shit in media and be like, yo, that's cool. I relate to this character.
Let me go back.
Probably a fraction of the people in this chat are big straight white dudes. All right.
We hit tier 2. Great job, before, everybody.
But the world
Much
isn't
love, man.
Big straight white dudes. There's more than that.
Hey, newsflash, fighting cowboy, brother. The world's always been like that. I know you might have just discovered this because you're in a certain ideology that's telling you that this is just a brand new thing. But the world has always been like that. The world has always been not just straight white dudes. The world has always been diverse. There's always been black people. It wasn't white liberals that discovered black people. Black people have always existed. There's always been brown people. There's always been Indian people. Scam call centers have been around for a long time. I know you don't consider Asian people to be diverse, but they are. They're not white adjacent. They're Asian. It's always been this way. So to sit here and pretend like you just discovered something is insane to me.
And we're seeing representation for those people so that they can see some shit in media and be like, yo, that's cool. I relate to this character.
So how come you're not asking for that stuff to be done in other countries? How come you're only okay with it being done here? How come it's okay for there to be minimal representation in Bollywood, for example? Right? Bollywood is fucking 95% Indian people. In Asian media, 95% Asian people with the occasional black character, which is usually done very well, by the way. The ironic thing, they have a couple of diverse characters in their works, and they're usually actually done pretty well. You want to know why? It's because none of that actually matters, right? Representation and diversity on screen doesn't actually matter, because what matters is somebody connecting with the character's story and what the character represents to them. Do you think that most people look like Goku? So why is it that most men wanted to be Goku or could connect with Goku or even Vegeta for that matter? They damn sure. Why is there so many black anime fans? Some of their favorite anime is Dragon Ball Z. You think they all thought they were Mr. Popo, motherfucker? No. No. The Latino community is huge in anime. Why? You think there's a bunch of spics running around? No. We haven't been able to see ourselves at all. We don't give a fuck. We don't care. We just want fun fucking stories. That's all we cared about.
Now, this might go a little bit off tangent, but like some people seem to forget, like America was fucking built on diversity, bro. Like, yeah, given the Pilgrims came over and completely fucked over the Native Americans and took land, but what evolved into America is people from everywhere. We had people from Poland. We had people from Germany. We had people coming from the Caribbean. We had people coming from Africa. We had people coming from Asia. America is literally a melting pot.
So you are admitting that we have always been diverse, And all of the shit that you guys have done to push diversity, equity, and inclusion has done absolutely nothing because it's always been there. I mean, I wasn't expecting you to admit that, but that's nice that you actually admitted that. I appreciate that. So it's always been there. Nice.
Of different nationalities, different religions, different diversities. That's what our country was fucking built on, man. And now we're upset that everything isn't straight white Christian male. Like, it doesn't make sense, dude. It doesn't make sense. Why? Like, what is so fucking upsetting about the fact that there's other kind of people besides you out there? And if that is upsetting, like, dude, you need to expand your worldview. All right. Take a vacation out of your fucking state.
But who's upset about that though? Like, do you realize that racism is always going to be a thing in this world? I feel like these people think that racism can be eradicated, but like true actual racism is always going to be a thing in this world. But for the most part, we were at the peak. We were at the peak of like anti-racism. I'll probably say in the late 90s, early 2000s. We were at the peak. And you know what's amazing? I will always remember this comment from Morgan Freeman. You know, when he was asked about racism, right? He was asked about racism, and Morgan Freeman, he was asked, you know, how do you get people to stop being racist? And Morgan Freeman said, stop talking about it. It's basically it. Stop talking about it. See, it's funny that the people that want to keep talking about it are the people that want to keep it going. And Morgan Freeman that's the best answer literally ever. Like, just stop talking about it. When you stop talking about it, it literally goes away little by little. Now, granted, it'll never fully go away. Obviously, I think you must be crazy if you think it's never going to fully go away. But for the most part, the people who keep talking about it are the ones that want to keep talking about it for a reason. They want to keep it going. They need to keep it going. And they know why they want to keep it going.
Go overseas, experience a different culture. And I promise you, it will broaden your horizon in ways you didn't think of before. There is more to your world than what is in the small town where you live right now.
How do you know people live in a small town? This man is assuming the world, bro. You're assuming the race of the people who are making the racist jokes. You're assuming that they're all from a small fucking hick town. Like, what? You are assuming the world, bro. Stop assuming that it's like you're almost projecting in a way. What about the people who don't live in a small town and have that worldview? What about the people who live in cities and have that ideology? What are you going to say to them? Get out of your big city where you saw all this kind of diversity and go experience other diversity. It's amazing that you're talking about visiting other cultures and areas in order to expand your worldview. But the places that you mentioned and the places you visited are extremely racially one-sided. If you go to Japan, what do you think? You think you're going to see a whole bunch of black people walking around? Maybe if you go to the tourist cities, aside from that, you think you're going to see a bunch of black people and Hispanic people running around? You think Pablo is going to be cleaning up the fucking shop, the manga shop? Come on, bro.
And seeing different cultures is fucking cool. I did my honeymoon in Japan. I loved it. I walked the 1,000 gates in Kyoto, the shrines that were a point of drama in Assassin's Creed, which I will talk about that.
That's cool.
But like, I got to see all that, and it gave me a whole new level of respect for Japanese culture. It was an amazing trip. Like, you should be looking to embrace other cultures and other ideologies and use that to expand your own worldview, because that's only going to improve you as a person. Now, so why did I go on a rant?
I don't know what any of this has to do about shadows, by the way. I'm sorry, chat. I have no idea. Zero idea.
Why did I go on a fucking rant? Because honestly, I'm fed up with this. Like I said, I've seen this shit. This is it's a non-issue for people that aren't in the online space.
That's not true, because the numbers obviously show that people are having a problem with this game for whatever that reason may be. Sure, it might be a black guy in samurai armor for all we know, maybe. But it could also be other problems too. It could also be people looked at gameplay and they were like, I'll wait for... You know what it truthfully is? People know that Ubisoft games are games that you wait for it to go on super sale, right? You should not ever pay full price for a Ubisoft game unless you are a streamer, right? Or you just might be a hardcore fan. You might just be a hardcore fan, right? But at that point, most people know that Ubisoft games go on sale within 30 days. And then within 90 days, it's half off. They go on sale almost immediately. I mean, the fucking game is on sale on Xbox Digital right now on Best Buy. The game's on sale for $59.99 right now. And it just came out.
But as somebody that's in the online space every day, streaming, reading the comments, interacting on socials, it's nonstop, bro. And to take an example, like imagine you...
Wait, so you're sick of seeing this shit. You're sick and tired of seeing this, and yet you admit that you are partaking in it. You're not forced to look at all this stuff, bro. You're not forced to look at any of this shit. You're not forced to consume our content. You're not forced to go on Twitter and look at the negative stuff being said about Shadows. You could literally just go on Twitter, post your live stream that you're going to go live and go play your game and literally never see anything. So if you are telling yourself or you're forcing yourself to see this stuff, then maybe you should stop forcing yourself to see this. Maybe just let it go. Just let it go. It almost sounds as if you are complaining about content that you are choosing to consume. You're choosing to consume this content. You don't have to do that.
You used to go to karaoke every Friday night, okay? I love karaoke. Every Friday night, we're doing karaoke. And then one Friday, you go, and there's a guy in the corner at a table, and he's just shitting his pants all night. And you're like, that's fucking weird. Hopefully he doesn't come over to us. But then every other Friday, he keeps getting closer. He keeps getting closer. And eventually all of your friends are like, why does the guy that smell like shit coming to our fucking table?
What?
And he's like, do y'all also want to shit your pants? That's what it fucking feels like.
What?
Because it used to be y'all were out doing something you enjoyed. You were having fun. And now it's some other person that wants to ruin the fun.
That's not even close to being the same. What are you talking about? That's not even close to being the same. If you want a real analogy, what you're doing right now is you, while you're having fun at karaoke, you are choosing to walk up to the guy that smells like shit, and you're choosing to tell him, hey, bro, stop smelling like shit, because smelling like shit is racist, and you need to stop. And I know you didn't tell me anything, but I wanted to put myself in this situation, and then I'm going to go back to my friends and complain about always seeing this happening. That's really more accurate, to be honest with you.
Mr. Piss Pants over here is coming in to ruin the fun, because if he has to smell like shit, he wants all of y'all to also smell like shit.
Oh,
and that's what I'm talking about. Like, why would you seek out to be the guy that smells like piss? And you shouldn't. Your first thought should be like, I don't want to be the fucking guy that smells like piss.
How do you know you're not the guy that smells like piss? Considering where the numbers are at right now, considering that you guys are getting absolutely wrecked in every sense of the word, how do you know that you're not the one that smells like piss and everybody else around you does not smell like piss? How do you know it's not you? I'm just saying, I'm just asking a question.
But guess what? The people online that like to engage in this drama, they profit off of you being the guy that smells like piss.
You're profiting off of talking about the guy who supposedly smells like piss, because you're live streaming this. You get views, you get ad revenue, you got super chats, you got super thanks on your video. You're profiting off of it. So why is your profit okay, but other people's profits not? Why is it always about the money? What does the money have to do with what's being said? It's because you are trying to tie the money to the reason for which XYZ is being said, because you want to paint the picture that nobody will truly say what they are saying unless there was money attached to it, which is absolute bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. But that's the image you're trying to paint right now. That's why you guys constantly try to tie the money to it. Do you want the money? Like, I don't understand. You get decent views. I don't know how your super chats are looking, but you get decent views. You seem to have the support of a good amount of people. Why focus on all this negativity? Why focus on it? If you supposedly hate it so much, why focus on it?
They make money off of you being fucking angry and engaging in this never-ending fucking hate machine. That is what they want.
And you make money off of people believing your toxic positivity about certain video games, since you get free keys for these video games and you're essentially sponsored in a way to play them. So what are we doing? What are we comparing here? You have a toxic positivity angle. You think other people have toxic negativity angle. Yin and yang, motherfucker. Yin and yang.
Like, does that make you upset? Knowing there's people who they pay their bills. They are making money. They're making fucking stacks right now because you're being pissed off at something that really you don't fucking care about.
Oh, wow. So he knows what you do and don't care about now. Wow. Wow. Interesting. So this really is envy, isn't it? This really is envy, because when you said stacks, I saw an insane amount of rage in your eyes. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back to that, because I see it in your eyes. Let me see something real quick.
They are making money. They're making fucking stacks right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I guess, listen, like, you realize you make decent money too, right? Doing YouTube, 1.5 million subscribers. You get 10 million views a month. 10 million views a month should be good for, I would say, 10 to maybe $10,000 to $14,000 a month, give or take, right? Just from the ad revenue, not including super chats or anything like that. And you're mad at other people making money? You serious right now? It's either that or your ad revenue has gone down and you're not making as much money as I'm assuming you're making based off what I know about viewership. It's like you make money. So why are you mad about other people making money who have different ideologies than you do? People are allowed to think differently without it being grifting. You know what I mean?
No, because you're being pissed off at something that really you don't fucking care about.
This is wild.
I don't care about baseball.
It's wild that he is assuming what you do and don't care about. I think that's pretty fucking wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that's pretty wild. That's where he kind of lost me. I mean, he lost me a long time ago, but that especially, it's like you're assuming what people do and don't care about.
Baseball, basketball. I watch football occasionally, but like, you don't see me. I'm not getting mad at other sports. I'm not going to fucking baseball games being like, fuck baseball. This sport is fucking boring. You sit in the stands, somebody hits a ball and you run. No. Why would I fucking spend my energy being upset about something that I don't enjoy?
That's insane. That is not even remotely comparable. This is called gaslighting. So you are trying to compare you not talking or being angry about a sport you don't care about to people who are angry about issues in video games that they do care about? How is that even remotely the same thing? People are mad because they actually like video games. They enjoy video games. Otherwise, yeah, they probably would not be complaining.
We're all going to fucking die someday, bro.
Oh, no.
Whether you like it or not. One day.
Oh, no. Not the we're all going to die someday, so nothing matters argument. Oh, no. I'm done. I'm done. Do I have to keep going? Do you want me to keep going? I'll keep going. But At this point, it's like, all right, this is where we're at. We're all gonna die one day, so nothing matters. I'm gonna leave it up to the chat. I'm gonna let the chat decide. You guys can decide. I can't believe he said that, bro. I can't believe he said that. We're all gonna die one day, so nothing matters. I want to make it very clear. I got no issues with this guy. Again, I never knew him before this. I'm just gonna toss it up to we fundamentally disagree. We fundamentally disagree. That's what it is. We just fundamentally disagree, probably on everything. Well, not everything, because we agreed on the Mass Effect thing and whatnot, but we probably like 95% fundamentally disagree. And at this point, like, I don't know. That whole thing just completely lost it for me. That lost it for me. I don't know. Wow, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. Yeah, there's no reason to have a conversation with this guy. I mean, he's knee deep in the sauce. He is deep in the sauce. And this is why I tend to just focus on talking about studios, talking about video games in general, and how I view them. Because talking to people like this, man, this is not like, nothing is going to come from this. Nothing is going to come from this, man. This is just this is insane shit. Yeah, he's got woke mind virus all day, 100%. All right, most of you guys don't want me to continue, so we're just gonna stop because we are well past time anyway. It's 30 minutes past stream. Usually I end at the 2 hour. I did try. Again, I don't have a problem with this guy. I don't have any issue with this guy. Genuinely, zero. But my thing is just we just fundamentally disagree. That's what it is. And I'm not gonna like personally attack him, even though he personally attacked me with the whole like, oh, he does not lift, or you know what I mean. I mean, I'm Voldemort to these people. They don't even want to say the name. They're just like people that hide behind avatars. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, got it. Got it. Makes sense. Speaking of, my new chair is very comfortable, so thank you for calling that out, Fighting Cowboy. I'm very happy with my new chair. I'm very happy with my new chair. All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. Hold on, let me catch up on super chats. I'm trying to fix my mic because my mic is like the boom arm is all fucked up for some reason. I don't know what's going on here. I think it became retarded. It became retarded. Hold on, there we go. Is it good? Yeah. All right, it's good. Perfect. All right, let's catch up, man. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link his video. I'm gonna link his video because it is his content. We're reacting to it, fair use, all that good stuff. But I'm gonna link it so people have it. If you guys want to watch the full video, that is how you can watch the full video. Right there. If you want it, but he can't say I didn't share the video. I'm sharing the video so that people know where it came from. YouTube channel is called Fighting Cowboy. And that's just what it is.